Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special guest. This is my boyfriend Jess. Jess, say hi to everyone.
Hi.
So today I'm actually really excited about today's video because me and my boyfriend are both really big football fans, and I wasn't able to film a video about week 1, and if I filmed a video for every single week it would be a lot to film. So today me and Jess are going to be giving our commentary on week 2 of the NFL and also our predictions for week 3. Okay. So let's start by saying our favorite teams. I'm a hardcore Dallas Cowboys fan.
And I'm a Saints fan. Who dat? New Orleans.
And obviously it wasn't a great, if any of you guys out there are football fans, clearly it wasn't a great week for either of our teams. So let's just go through some of the big games of the week. One that I thought that was pretty interesting was the Seahawks versus the 49ers.
Yeah, well...
Obviously the 49ers lost.
But the Seahawks are obviously not even nearly as good.
Yeah, the past few years because...
I mean, Pete Carroll, I was reading the thing today, is they're looking for new coaches. So
really?
That is something.
That's interesting because, I mean, we live obviously in Reno, Nevada, and 99% of people that live in Reno are San Francisco 49ers fans, which is just yeah. But the Niners are terrible this year, and the Seahawks are supposed to be pretty good, and they barely beat the 49ers, and so that was kind of interesting to me.
I'm just excited.
What was your favorite game of the week?
My favorite game of the week would have been probably the Eagles and Chiefs. That was a really good game.
Really happy the Chiefs won because obviously
the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Because they took Malcolm Jenkins and Darren Sproles, and that was the stupidest things the Saints ever did. Well,
and the Eagles are in the same division as the Cowboys, so I'm obviously happy they lost. But what did you find interesting about this game? Tell the people the score.
27-20.
And the Chiefs won.
The Chiefs, yeah.
The Chiefs are looking really good this year, to be honest.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
the Patriots.
They kicked the Patriots' ass week 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, Alex Smith is just, doing his damn thing. People don't know out there, most of you watching are probably from the Reno Sparks area. But if you're not, the 49ers had Colin Kaepernick as their first-string quarterback for the last, 4 years? 3 years? Well, Colin Kaepernick came from the school that we go to, UNR, which also sucks. Let's not even get started on the Wolfpack.
We've played 2 D2 teams and already lost. So.
Mm-hmm. We are 0-3.
Basketball season's going to be good, though.
Yeah. Nevada, for the first time last year, made it to March Madness, which was really cool, but then we lost our coach, so who knows how good we're going to be. But anyways, that's a whole nother subject.
Another game that was really interesting to me was the Bills and Carolina.
Okay, so Buffalo Bills versus Carolina Panthers. What was the score?
It was 9-3, and the Panthers won. But I think it's really interesting because, a high-powered offense like the Panthers goes up against a defense that's not so, dynamic. They don't really match up. As I was saying, this excites me because the Saints play the Panthers next week, and the Saints defense is historically bad this year, like it is everywhere. We always set a record for worst defense. Yeah, we did that a couple times. So this year is hopefully we win next week, because I feel like if we go 0-3, it's possibly gonna be a shit year.
Okay, so one thing I find interesting in the NFL in general this year, the first 2 weeks, have you noticed how low scoring the games have been?
Yeah, fairly.
Yeah.
Except the Jets.
Oh, yeah. Jets versus Raiders. One of my best friends, Amanda, I'm sorry if you're watching this. The Jets are just bad. They're just really bad. And the Raiders are just really good. So...
And look at, let's talk about them Cowboys. That was a fluke game, in my opinion, if I'm being very honest.
So, let's be real. The Cowboys had a bomb-ass team this year. Week 1, we beat the Giants, which was a really big deal because, we lost to the Giants twice last year. So that was like a big deal that I think it was really awesome that we beat them to start off the season, but I don't know if we just got too cocky. The problem was Ezekiel Elliott got like, I want to say less than 20 yards against
like 8.
the Broncos, which is just horrific, and we rely a lot on our run game. The Broncos just have like a really good defense. How good do you think the Broncos are going to be this year?
I don't know. I think the Broncos have a high-powered defense. They got really, they got Von Miller. But their offense is whack, so I don't think they're gonna really.
But the problem was, if you look at the Cowboys game, not only was our offense playing like shit, but our defense was playing like shit too. And so they were scoring, and we were just getting shut down. Not to mention, we had 2 interceptions, which is just, Dak Prescott is normally like on top of it. He does not choke, really, and he just was not on his game that night, and I don't know, I was just kind of really disappointed. I don't know, I actually read an article about how the opening week of NFL, which was 2 weeks ago, was the worst since like the early 1970s, like the lowest scoring. None of the games were really close. There was only like, I want to say 1 or 2 games that were within 1 score of each other, so like all of them were kind of runaway games. So it's kind of interesting to see the NFL this year, how like there's just like a really big disconnect between like the really good teams and the really bad teams.
I think it's just because there's a lot of teams in the recovery stage. There's like a 5-year recovery stage. After you peak, a lot of teams will lose.
So
players.
what teams do you think have peaked so far? Like,
I think the Patriots have peaked, honestly.
I think Seahawks have peaked.
Well, I think they peaked like when they won. I don't know. They peaked a couple of years ago, I think, and they're just they're more declining. And this year's the first year I think the Seahawks have kind of like fell the furthest,
I agree.
The Bears are definitely in the recovery stage right
well,
now.
They haven't
really.
been good in a while.
They haven't been good in a while, but I'm just saying they're in.
Let's talk
they're
about
like the
teams
furthest. I think they're like
were good.
They're probably the worst. Let's talk about teams that are, up and coming, like the Jaguars right now and the Titans right now.
Raiders.
And the Raiders right now. I mean,
okay,
historically bad
here's
teams.
An interesting
historically
question.
bad teams I've been saying it for the longest time. The Raiders 1 year are just going to be good all of a sudden, and
last year
2 years. It took like 2 years ago was that first year, and I was telling everybody, I told you.
Carr. Okay, so here's an interesting question. If Derek Carr didn't break his leg last year, do you think they would have gone to the Super Bowl?
See, I don't know. I don't know if they were good enough to beat the Patriots last year. I don't think they have a good enough run defense, in my opinion. I don't know. This year I feel like they're more developed. They're more confident, and like they kind of went. They didn't take that last game last year as very serious. I don't think they're just like, we don't want anyone to get hurt. We came this far.
Are you talking about after Derek Carr was hurt or before?
That game after Derek Carr got hurt.
Well, after Derek Carr got hurt, they were starting their 3rd-string quarterback who had never started.
Yeah, because Derek Carr was hurt, and so was their 2nd string.
Yeah, so, I mean, they weren't going to win anyway.
They knew they weren't going to win, so they're like, well, let's just focus on next season.
Do you think Adrian Peterson was a good decision for the Saints?
I think Adrian Peterson he needs to be utilized in the right way. He needs to be thrown the ball. Like, Adrian Peterson doesn't I don't think I think he's too old to be running the ball. It
seems like there's some tension between Adrian Peterson and Sean Payton. What do you think?
I think that it's all about Adrian Peterson's playtime. He's like, I didn't sign a contract here to play 9 snaps, but it's like.
But he's also.
I also think that Sean Payton doesn't understand how to use him as well. I think he thinks that, classic Adrian Peterson, he can run over anyone, run through into line, whatever. But he's old now, and the league's different now, and older players. I mean, look at like what the Saints did with Darren Sproles. They would always throw him the ball. I mean, he's a smaller guy. He's older. He's like an older player, and the Saints would always just use him as like a throwing or a screen option. So I mean, I don't know.
We're talking about running backs making a big splash. Let's talk about.
Talk about Hunt off the Chiefs. He's a beast.
No, what's his name's come back to the Raiders?
Oh,
Lynch, Marshawn Lynch. He's making a big splash with the Raiders. He's Marshawn
Lynch. Everyone knew Marshawn Lynch was going to be good. He's Marshawn Lynch.
But he's just making the Raiders even better. So with Marshawn Lynch and Derek Carr, do you think the Raiders could be a contender for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Raiders are most likely going to be in the Super Bowl this year. That's what I would put money on it.
Would you put the Raiders above the Patriots?
Yeah, I think the Raiders will beat the Patriots this year because their offense is too good. The Raiders' offense is like unbeatable right now.
Do you think the Falcons could make it to the Super Bowl again?
Possibly. I think it might be Falcons. They're pretty good.
My final thoughts on week 2 was it just wasn't very good football. Just like week 1, there wasn't very many good games. There wasn't very many close games. And I think Cowboys need to pick it up. What's your final thoughts on week 2?
I think it was messy for my team especially, and for a lot of teams because, you got really low scoring games.
Okay, so let's transition into predictions for week 3. All right, here we go. Week 3, starting with Thursday Night Football. The matchup is Rams versus 49ers. They're both kind of shitty. I'm going to go Rams.
The Rams are definitely going to win. I mean, it's a 55 to 44,
ratio for the Rams, and I'm just going to pick the Rams. Next game, Saints versus Panthers.
Saints, even though the Panthers are favored. I think the Saints have the Saints have a better offense than they do defense, and that's what's going to matter because they don't have a good enough offense to beat the Saints. I think the Saints defense is going to rally a little bit this time because they're like on the hot seat. It's a division game, so it's going to be different, stakes and everything. So
I'm going to pick the Saints.
Yeah, well, we all know they're going to win. So.
Okay, Ravens versus Jags. I'm going to go with the Jags. You know? I don't know anything dito kasi. Okay, next game, Broncos versus Bills.
Broncos and Bills.
Broncos and Bills.
I would love to see the Bills win because I don't like the Broncos.
But the Broncos
are probably going to win. So, yeah. The Bears and Steelers, definitely the Steelers because the Bears are trash. Straight trash.
I agree. Steelers versus Bears. Steelers are always... You know what's crazy? Is the Steelers always kind of like lay low, and they're always like a good contender for the Super Bowl. So
they're just a consistent team.
But I'm going to say the Steelers are going to win. Next game?
Falcons and Lions. That's a really good game.
That's a good matchup. I'm going to say Falcons.
To see Lions. They're in my division. Falcons are in my division. I have to say Lions. They're both 2-0, so it's kind of hard to depict. But Matthew Stafford is on fire. He's already got 6 TDs. He's like really throwing good in the red zone because he has so many targets to throw it to. That's, I think, what it really is his receivers give him those crazy numbers. And only 1 interception.
Well, I'm still going to pick the Falcons.
But then you got to think...
Browns versus Colts. Colts.
I mean, they
suck.
Both
and
terrible.
actually,
I would like to see the Browns. Let's go Browns.
I might take that back because I don't think Andrew Luck is playing. So I'm going to actually say the Browns. We like to root for the underdog. So...
Oh, my God.
Go Browns.
Vikings and Bucks. I want to see the Bucks win. I shouldn't, but I like the Bucks. Jameis Winston's a good football player.
I'm going to say Bucks as well. I don't really care about either team, so whatever. Texans versus Patriots. That's going to be interesting.
Anybody but the Patriots. Fuck the Patriots.
But who do you think is actually going to win?
I think that the Patriots are going to win, but I don't want them
We have to be honest here, okay, folks?
So next we have Dolphins and Jets.
Dolphins, for sure.
Yeah. Dolphins, I mean, I like the Dolphins. I'll be real.
Okay, next game. Giants versus Eagles. It's a divisional game, so you never really know which one's
I'd like to see the Eagles win because I don't like Eli Manning.
I don't like either. They're both in my division, but Giants have lost both games and Eagles have won one, so go Giants.
I just think that the Eagles are better because they took all the Saints players. Seahawks and Titans.
Oh, that's kind of an interesting matchup. I would normally say the Seahawks, but they haven't been that good this year. So
Titans. Let's go Mariota. He is a beast. Russell Wilson's. We were talking about declining players. He's not really declining. He's 356 and 1 TD. That's not bad.
He's only had 1 touchdown.
He's thrown a little bit low on the percentage, but I really think he is declining.
I like Russell Wilson.
He's okay.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
like
I'm gonna go
Carroll.
Seahawks. I'm gonna say Seahawks.
Titans
Okay.
all day. Titans.
Chiefs and Chargers. Chiefs for sure.
Chargers are ass. Straight
Like
up.
Chargers are in the hardest division. Like they are like the
They're
worst.
like the worst team
Like
in that
they do not
division.
belong in that division because
No.
all the rest of that division is so good. Redskins and Raiders.
Raiders.
All day.
All day, yeah. No, there's no doubt.
And then the last game of the week, Cowboys versus Cardinals. Let's go Cowboys.
Let's see right here. It's a
Ooh.
50 or a 50 Cardinals.
like 50-50.
Cardinals are favorited by 1%, so like not even
by
0.4
0.4%,
of a percent. So
But I'm gonna say Cowboys. You know, we're gonna pick it up. We're gonna bring it back. It was a little momentary lapse in our team, but we're getting it together. We have this whole week to prepare. We play Monday night. That's prime time, baby.
I'm thinking if this game is going to come down to whether or not the Cowboys can capitalize on turnovers, because there's going to be turnovers because Carson Palmer is ass this year. And it also depends on whether or not the Cowboys can run the football. Because
So who are you saying?
I'm going to say Cowboys, but they have to be able to run the football.
I agree. We have to get Ezekiel Elliott running again, and also our defense really needs to step up.
Yeah.
So those are our week 3 predictions. Obviously, you guys will be able to see. Maybe we'll come back in a couple weeks and see if we were right on our predictions, because now it's on video, so we have to stick with them.
Yeah.
But other than that, any last words?
Come through to Canna Dispensaries, open 8 to 8.
Anything
Come
else?
see me.
Anything about football?
Go Saints. Who dat?
Okay, guys. Well, this is going to be an interesting week of football. I hope it gets a little bit better. Guys, that's all for it today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
You gotta let me study before we get into this.
And
Well, fact. Dak Prescott, or take that out, edit that out. Derek Carr, sorry. God. When you like.
So let's talk
I'm gonna
about
edit that out.
Lions versus Giants. What did you think about that game? Honey. Because of You're so chokes.
I think Tom Brady is a bitch. I don't know. I just don't like him. Lions and
Honey, you
Falcons.
have to let me talk too.
Sorry. The Saints making weird decisions
So-
like. Let me finish. Making weird decisions like. I mean, it's 27-45, which isn't great, but I
Well,
need to see
okay.
at least
So
5 games.
my final thoughts
I
on
think-
Honey.
I think that
My
the
turn.
Super Bowl predictions.
We're not doing
Super Bowl prediction time. Super Bowl prediction. Rest of the teams.
Okay,
See, this
hold
is
on.
why we should fucking
No, you-
start over.
No, you can't start over. You gotta just keep filming, and then I'll edit it out.
If any of this bullshit is in it, I swear to God.